assault, harboring, obstruction, conspiracy. I'm Jonathan Lockwood. I'm running for Congress in Oregon's 5th Congressional District. Oregon, we are putting Tina Kotek on notice because at this point, it's not even accurate to say Tina Kotek has failed. Failure would imply that she tried. No, what we are witnessing is something far darker and far graver. A governor whose behavior is now so extreme, so disconnected from lawful governance, that respected legal scholars are publicly warning her of criminal exposure. She hasn't simply been issued a caution. It was not a suggestion that she reconsider. She's been delivered what amounts to a pre-indictment briefing. These are real charges. Those are not political differences. Those are federal charges. And why? Because Tina Kotek is openly threatening federal officers, not hypothetically, not rhetorically, directly and explicitly. She has stepped into a realm reserved for people who think they're above every law binding the rest of us. Tell me, what competent governor threatens law enforcement for doing their jobs? What rational leader tries to bully ICE agents while her state collapses under the weight of the lawless environment that she created? Not just as governor, but as Speaker of the House as well. What kind of executive power looks at addiction, homelessness, violent crime, and decay, and decides the real enemy is federal law enforcement and her own constituents? It is delusion, not ideological, not moral, clinical, political delusion, the kind that forms when a leader sits isolated in power long enough to believe the law bends around her. And now legal experts for common decency, norms, and the rule of law have to speak to her the way a teacher speaks to a defiant child. You are not a queen. You are not above the law. You can and likely will be prosecuted. Humiliating for her, surely, but it's dangerous for Oregonians. Kotek has turned Oregon into a sanctuary for failure, for dysfunction, for criminals who benefit from her hostility toward the law. And instead of correcting course, she doubles down, lashes out, and threatens the very people tasked with restoring the order that she destroyed. I've had a lot of caffeine today, my apologies. So let me state this plainly. A governor who threatens federal officers is not brave. She is not principled. She is a legal defendant in waiting. And the only reason she hasn't faced consequences yet is because no one has forced the issue until now. Oregon deserves a leader, not a liability. A governor grounded in law, not lost in delusion. This era of reckless, self-destructive rule is ending, whether she understands that or not. We already see her countless other unconstitutional actions. She issued an executive order to raise taxes 20 cents per gallon of gas in retaliation for the no tax Oregon signatures climbing to likely triple what's needed to refer her $4.3 billion tax heist that she's threatening. And now she's threatening to cut funding to keep roads safe this winter so Oregonians could literally be killed in retaliation for rising up against her. Then you have her international so-called trade deals that are either meaningless stunts and excuses to squander millions to pretend she's creating jobs or be important, traveling with her wife all around, and meaningful policies. It's just blatant, or it could be just blatant disregard for the Constitution and enriching herself for when she's no longer in office, potentially. Tina Kotek is facing perhaps the gravest PR disaster in political history in Oregon. She botched negotiations with Republicans, made false claims, then signed into law a so-called emergency, hauled a House member out of hospice to vote on this tax, who then died just days later. And that's after delaying a vote for another member who had a stroke so that he could vote, only to be absolutely rebuked by Oregonians who are saying to tyrant Tina, go to hell and take your taxes with you. We are reclaiming Oregon. And Tina Kotek's chapter of chaos is closing. Whether we will simply kill her proposals as a people, or whether she's a one-term governor and we can say good riddance to her and her wife, or whether it's behind bars for her lawlessness. We will see justice, and we will see an end to tyrant Tina's reign. Further, we must also take out in this next election Janelle Bynum. She has been complicit in these lawless actions of Tina Kotek. She was in the legislature too when she was protecting rapists and rape traffickers with her sole vote to side with rapists. Even every other Democrat besides her voted for the bill to extend protections for survivors. She was embroiled in the cover-up of a potentially criminal action as a mandatory reporter of the sexual crime against a minor on her campaign. She is a part of the same Oregon Shut Up Club that wants complete submission. Well, we will not be silenced. We will speak out, and we will flip Oregon.